Welcome back. Last time, we talked about AI's all-purpose brain. But today we're meeting the special forces. These are the highly focused, specialist networks that power just about everything from your phone's camera to self-driving cars. So, let's dive right in.
Okay, so a quick recap, right? We looked at the general neural network, which is basically like a computer's brain. It's this incredible layered system that can learn and make decisions, a fantastic all-arounder.
But here's the thing. A jack of all trades isn't always the best tool for the job. Sometimes you need a true expert, someone who does one thing and does it perfectly. So, what happens when your AI task needs a real specialist?
Well, that's exactly where we have to go beyond the basic brain.
And to make this super clear, we're going to head into our AI kitchen. In this kitchen, we're going to meet two master chefs. Each one is an absolute genius at their own specific kind of culinary or, computational challenge. First up, let's meet the plate inspector. This is our nickname for a really important type of network called a CNN.
So, this chef's whole job is to just glance at a finished plate of food and know exactly what it is. Is it a salad? Is it a steak? They can tell instantly just by seeing all the different parts and how they're arranged. They don't need to see the recipe. For them, it's all about the visuals.
So how do they do it? Well, they don't look at the whole plate at once. That'd be too much. Instead, they scan one tiny little area at a time, looking for simple patterns. Maybe they spot something crispy and golden brown over here, or something green and leafy over there. Then, by finding all these little features and piecing them together, they build up a complete picture of the entire dish. And this process, that's exactly how a convolutional neural network, or a CNN for short, actually works. It is an absolute master of visual data. It breaks an image down into tiny pieces, finds patterns like edges and colors, and then combines all that information to understand the big picture.
And believe me, this isn't just some abstract idea. CNNs are everywhere. They're the magic behind your phone's facial recognition. They're how social media can automatically tag your friends in photos. And they're literally the eyes for self-driving cars. They are the undisputed champs of visual pattern recognition.
Okay, so that's chef number one. Now, let's meet our second specialist, the recipe follower, which is our stand-in for an RNN. For this chef, sequence is everything. The order of operations is absolutely critical. I mean, you can't frost a cake before you bake it, right? Their entire job is to follow a series of steps where each new step depends entirely on what happened last. And their secret weapon? It's a memory notepad. They'll read the first step in the recipe, and they'll jot it down. Then, when they get to the second step, they look back at their notepad to remember what they just did. This memory is the key to understanding each new instruction in its proper context.
And this simple idea, this notepad, well, that is the core concept behind a recurrent neural network, or RNN. It's a network that has a built-in memory loop. And that loop is what allows it to process data that comes in a sequence, like text or speech, by always remembering what came before.
And that memory is the whole game. It's what lets RNNs just crush tasks where context is critical. Think about language translation or speech recognition, or even the predictive text on your phone. All of those things have to understand the sequence of words to make any sense at all. So we have the CNN and the RNN, the plate inspector and the recipe follower. When do you use each one?
Let's break it down really quick. Our plate inspector, the CNN, is all about finding patterns in space, in visual data. Meanwhile, the recipe follower, our RNN, is about understanding sequences through time, using its memory. So here's the simplest takeaway. A CNN is great for telling you what is in a picture. An RNN is great for understanding the context within a sentence.
But our AI kitchen isn't quite perfect. It turns out one of our star chefs has a pretty serious flaw hidden in their method. So here's the problem. The recipe follower's memory notepad. It isn't infinite. If you give them a really long recipe, those first few steps start to fade. They might forget if they preheated the oven because that was like 20 steps ago. In the tech world, this is called the vanishing gradient problem, where information just gets lost over time, leading to a pretty flawed long-term memory.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? If your specialist for understanding sequences has a bad memory, how on earth do you fix that? How do you build an AI that can understand an entire book and not just a single sentence? Well, we'll explore that answer next time.